Mark Pope might be elevating in my coach power rankings nationally right now because he had an all-time presser, and I'm just realizing how Hall of Fame level this press conference was. There were like 17 clip-worthy things that he said in it. I can't really recall another coach having a great offseason presser like this. But anyways, the thing that went most viral from this press conference was a joke that Mark Pope made that started as a joke and ended with a very serious let me put my big blue balls on the table and remind everybody who we are for a second. That's what happened here. We had a reporter in the room at Mark Post's press conference ask, it was a very funny way to ask it. He was like, what was the number? If you could say, what you spent on your roster? And this was Mark Pope's answer. Excuse me. Sorry. I just lost my spot. Wow, I botched this worse than the reporter.
It's
If you
okay.
could say.
I mean, we do got to discuss the fact that you think Mark Pope has blue balls. Crazy.
Crazy. What's the, if you can say, NIL valuation of your roster?
It's close to $200 million. We would like to win at everything, guys. Like we really would. With this, the flagship program in the country, and so I'm fully on board with all of it. We want to play the hardest schedule. We want to play the best teams. We want to win the most games. We want to have the best players. We want to have the highest NIL. We want to have the coolest uniforms. We want to have the most media attention. Like this is Kentucky, and we're going to do this the very best we can. And we're blessed. We're really blessed to have President Capilouto and Mitch Barnhart and some of the most committed, generous fans and donors and supporters in all of college basketball. We have the best donors in college basketball. We have the best fans in college basketball.
I'm going to stop it there. You get what he's going with. That was a minute of the actual full clip of Mark Pope. By the way, I got this from Twitter at Big Blue Dylan, who clipped this. So shout out to Big Blue Dylan for that. But yeah, so he jokes, what's the valuation NIL of your roster? Close to 200 million. He gets audible laughs, and then he goes on a minute-long rant about how this is Kentucky. We want it all. We are the best. How do you feel about this answer from Mark Pope?
I mean, I love this answer. I loved all the answers from this press conference. It really sounds like it's kind of what I'm garnering from this. I wish that he did this like battle raps and he was standing up and me and you could be next to him after every line he says, like, yeah, we're trying to be 200 million. And me and you in the background, like, we want to have the best uniforms and the best fans to play the hardest schedule. Yeah, Mark, talk that shit, man. I like it. I like this. I think this to me shows because I look at Mark Pope as like such this like just good guy, good person, you know what I'm saying? He's just like gratitude and I just want to bring guys together and all this stuff. This is a little bit of like talk that talk at the same time. They're like, we are Kentucky. We'll play you anytime, anywhere. You're poor. We got cool uniforms. Like we got all this stuff. And um I also know that and I'm not saying he's doing it like fakely or anything like that, if that's even a word, my apologies. But he, I think, has such a good pulse on what Kentucky fans want and need to hear at the same time. Because one of the big things, and not to, eventually we'll move on from the fact that Coach Cal used to be the coach. The one thing that I think used to rub Kentucky fans the wrong way at times was that it was Cal University. It was Coach Cal and Coach Cal and playing for Coach Cal. I feel like Mark Pope is putting a little bit more of an emphasis on like it's Kentucky. We're the flagship program with the money and the cool uniforms who will play anybody. And we got an AD and all this other nonsense and all this other stuff that's like really Kentucky based. I feel like Mark Pope has a good idea that Kentucky fans want to hear that.
This video is presented by Underdog Fantasy, and they've got a free pick tonight that you're going to want to take advantage of. Anthony Edwards to score over 0.5 points. Ant scores every single playoff game, as far as I know. Card, has he ever not scored?
Not since I've been alive, and that's 32 years for those wondering out there.
That pick sounds extremely free. Promo code SLEEPERS as a first-time depositor at Underdog Fantasy. You can get up to $1,000 in bonus bets and a free pick. This is the shortest ad read we've ever done. You're welcome. Back to the video. Yeah, I adored this answer. In fact, it's probably my favorite thing I think I've seen from Mark Pope. in his time in Kentucky or outside of it. Couple quick points from me. You hit on a lot of the main ones already. He talks all the time about with his players when he's building a roster. It's hugely important with everyone to bring in guys who understand what it means to rock Kentucky. Mark Pope is the coach version of that through and through. It's genuine. It's real. More than any other person on the planet, Mark Pope understands what it means to be the coach of Kentucky. And in Kentucky's fans' eyes, I don't think he's missed since he's been hired. Like he's basically everything he said, everything he's done, flawless. Other than maybe you missed on a transfer target, but you pivoted to something better. Maybe you wanted him to keep Travis Perry, but he said the right thing when he left. Like everything Mark Pope does echoes perfectly in the hearts, in the souls of what Kentucky fans want because he gets it more than anybody else could possibly get it. I'm laughing at the idea of being asked this question in a presser. And again, I don't mean to throw shit on whoever asked this. I don't know who the reporter was that asked it. I applaud someone for working up the courage to be like, how much money did you spend on this roster? I wish you would have just asked that instead of been like, yeah, if you could say, like, of course he can't say. Of course he's not going to come up there and be like, we spent $8 million on 2 players.
Yeah, Carter Ellis, Sleepers Media here. I have the roster up here, Mark. Let's just play a quick game. Simple answer here. Number, once I say a player. Let's go.
Right. But like, if you're going to ask, like if you're going to go there, just be direct and ask, like, how much money did you spend on this roster? If you ask it that way, I don't think Mark Pope comes back and says 200 million. Instead, Mark Pope kind of sensed there was like a little nervousness to even ask the question. And he's like, oh, I don't have to answer this. I can make up whatever I want. But he handled it perfectly because when he says it, obviously he's joking 200 million. The thing is, I kind of believe that he could have 200 million if he wanted it at this point. If he went to the donors and was like, I need $90 million to get, I don't know who, AJ Debance, like, do it. Let's do it. I trust you, Mark Pope. You have an unlimited budget from the highest spending place in college basketball. And that's the large point here. I said it at the top of the video. I called it him literally putting his big blue balls on the table. It's what he's doing. He's looking around and he's staring down everybody, knowing the cameras are on him, knowing, hey, guess what? We have more attention on us than anybody in the sport at all times because we're Kentucky. And we love it that way. And we want this in every single front. We want to spend more money than everybody else. We want the best players more than everybody else. And I love your rap battle comp because it really does feel very B-Rabbit 8 Miley, right? He stands up there and he goes, I am white. And everybody in the crowd goes, I am a bum. That's what Mark Pope was doing one by one here. We are Kentucky. We spend more than everybody else. We have the best players. We have the coolest jerseys. He went on this for a minute, and it's awesome. And I would bet you everybody in that room was like leaning closer and closer to the edge of their seats as this went on. I'm all the way in on it. An important distinction to end with for me is this. Had he said something like this a year ago, it doesn't hit the same. Because if he said these exact words before ever coaching a game at Kentucky, I think I would have looked at him sideways and been like, who does this guy think he is, man? Do something first. But the fact that he was so successful in year one, there's substance to it already because they were the best big game team in the country last year. Was their record in top 25 games? Like, what, 9-2 at one point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's sitting there knowing more than any other program in the sport last year, when the lights were bright, when everybody's looking at you, Kentucky had everybody's answer. And he can talk like that now because he already backed it up. I love this from Mark Pope.
I want to shake Mark Pope's hand. I want to dap. You think Mark Pope's good at dapping people up?
Yes.
I want to dap him up real bad.
I think Mark Pope's better than me at dapping.
Let's just not, I gave you an inch, took like 9 miles. Let's relax.
I'm just saying.
You're special.
It's a sign of respect.